Welcome back. We're starting a little bit early. My name's Trina and my guest co-host.
Hi, Elise Ellis.
In for Michelle today. Michelle's out helping her kids do some stuff. It's full-time job.
It is.
You just said you just came in going, oh, the kids. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join me. This is Run It Studios presents Inspiring New Growth with Trina and usually Michelle, but Elise today, and it's networking in the 417. We're going to talk about networking things, specifically ING, Inspiring New Growth. If you're a member, make a comment. Let us know what chapter you're a part of. You are a member of the Amigos chapter.
Yep.
And let us know what business you have, if anything's coming up that you would like to promote, and we'll just go from there. So let's jump right into it. I want to know how networking has helped you. How long have you been doing it? Tell people what you do.
Okay, so my name is Elise Ellis, and I am a local realtor here in the Springfield area, and I've been networking on and off for probably 7 years. I think that I know I took a break during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because we all did.
Yeah.
And then I got back in with ING in 2020.
Okay.
I think it was maybe June of 2020.
Yeah.
So, and consistently with the Amigos chapter on Thursdays. We meet at Pasta Express on West Republic Road from 11:30 to 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been great. Formed a lot of great relationships there, and lifelong friends. So yeah, that's, it's the best part.
We were talking a little bit beforehand. Almost every networking group has at least 2 or 3 similar business fields that they have, like insurance agents, realtors, and stuff like that. And so it can be a lot to wade through the noise and make sure that you're heard and seen.
Yep.
How has networking helped you do that?
So, one way is that we stand up every day or at every meeting and we give a little 30 seconds about ourselves or about our business. And had I not met Michelle, who's usually the co-host, I would have just been like, hey, I'm an agent, sell with me. And she's actually helped me narrow down what I say, and how I say it so that I can be very specific and say, look, today I'm looking for sellers in this age group, and this is my specialty, or my other specialty is working with first-time home buyers, and the challenges with first-time home buyers is, blah, 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 and just go straight into a 30-second elevator speech, for lack of better words, so that people are very clear and concise and not just lump me in the group with all the other real estate agents in the area.
Yeah, she's really good at that, at helping you understand what you do best and helping you illuminate. Like we've been seeing on her posts, people can be an illuminator or a dimmer.
Yeah.
And she's great at helping you illuminate and you be an illuminator and shine your gifts and make it really beneficial for what you do and how you can help others.
Yeah.
So, what's one of the things that you would tell someone else about networking that may be a little reluctant to come check out a group?
Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is work. It is a job. I mean, there are things that you need to do when you are networking. You need to be open to speaking to other people that you don't know and making them feel welcome. Because somebody at some point stepped out of their comfort zone to make you feel welcome when you first came to the group. And so that hour and a half that we're in our meetings, we need to really be intentional with using that time and using that time to find out what motivates other people or what's important to other people, because you never know when you might find something on the personal level, not just on the business side.
Yeah.
And you need to also take the time and find out about their business. Like I said, people think, oh, she's just a real estate agent. Well, no, there's a lot more that goes into
there's a lot.
Yeah. Real estate agent. Just like in my group, we have Tony Yarborough, who is Exquisite Renovations, and he does roofing and windows, and he does some renovations. But where does his passion fall, right?
Yeah.
So his passion falls with the roofing.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, well, I'm just gonna say refer them for whatever. Well, what if that's not their passion? What if their passion is something else that you're not referring? So it's about building that relationship and finding out what people are it really excites them.
Yeah. How did you get into real estate?
Oh, girl. That's a 20-minute story. So in 1998, I graduated from Drury College. It was Drury College at the time. It's now Drury University.
Oh yeah, that's right. They made that change.
They made that big change. And I thought I was going to go to law school, and I had signed up for the LSAT. And the morning before the LSAT, I woke up and said, I'm not doing this. I'm not going. I'm not going to do this test. I know, right?
Oh my goodness. Seriously. Were you nervous, or you just knew it wasn't right?
I woke up with that dread. Have you ever had that feeling like you just, you wake up, you just know it's not right. You said yes to something that you know is not meant for you.
Yeah.
So
wow.
So I just looked at my mom and I said, I don't want to do this. She's like, I'm glad you wasted this $400 and not $100,000.
That was very supportive. I don't know that mine would have been like, you already signed up, you're going.
Well, no, I mean, she's literally said $400, I'd rather waste $400 than you go and do $100,000 for schooling and have all these student loans and then hate it. So she's like, you can always if you change your mind, you can always sign up to take the test again. So from there, I just was working and I didn't really have a direction. And one day I looked at my parents over, we're at brunch at their house. This is newspaper time. So my dad's reading the newspaper and with his readers.
Yes.
The situation. And he's like, you'll never make any money at that, because keep in mind, 1998, things are a little different than they were now. And I said, okay. So I worked for him, and then I did a whole bunch of career studies and found out that I would be good in sales. And I went into insurance sales, and I hated it.
Oh,
I hated it.
Okay.
It was not good. And so 20 years later, well, it's not 20 years later. So 2005, I was pregnant with my first child, and I said, I think I'm going to get my real estate license. And so I did. And then the baby came, full on motherhood.
Yeah.
So I just let it go.
Yeah.
And I was working for a company here in town. It was actually owned by my dad, and I was their, inside sales and social media person. Sorry, guys. And the business sold. He sold. Oh. My dad sold the business, and I could see some things happening. Red flags that were red flags for me.
Yeah.
With the change. And, we tried to sell our house in 2011, and that didn't happen. And then in 2012, we did sell our house. And, at that time, the agent called me about 6 months later and said, hey, I was in the photography industry. He said, do you know anybody that would like to photograph homes? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I photographed homes for him for about 3 years. And as the red flags were coming from the sale of my dad's business, my husband looked up at me and said, maybe this is your foray back into the real estate world.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you should think about getting licensed. I know, nah, not for me. And then right? So this is 2015. So as when I started thinking more and more about it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I self-studied. I was working in my full-time job. I was photographing homes. I had kids, and I self-studied for the real estate exam. It took me 6 months. Okay. So 6 months later, I take the test, and I failed it the first time, which I had passed it when I previously took the test. I passed it the first time.
Okay. So you had parent brain and all of that stuff.
So I did a brain dump and wrote down everything I could remember from the test. Yeah. And then I took the test again. And 3 days later, and I passed. And I just, from that point, just went 6 months. I did work both jobs for 6 months. And then in April of 2016, I left my, full-time job and just went full-time in real estate and haven't looked back.
So the photography part, why not keep doing that? Cause that's a big niche. Is it not enough to be full-time?
So I could do my own listing photographs. But the processing on the back end was taking too much time. Okay. My time was better spent. Hiring that out and paying a dedicated photographer. And while I do other business generating activities. Yeah. Yeah. And that's important to recognize when to outsource or what leverage it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I find that really interesting because I feel like a lot of people well, first of all, get stuck in feeling like they have to do what they went to school to do and stay on that path.
Right.
And things have changed.
Yeah.
People change jobs a lot more than they ever used to. You got in your job and you were going to retire from that, you know?
That was the big thing. Like when I graduated in 1998, it was get a job, stay there, get a 401k and stay at that job for 30 years. And then when you retire,
even if you hated it,
but when you retired, you're supposed to have $1 million. Well, that's not what's going to happen.
No.
So, I'm seeing like I have a college student and he's chasing his dream of playing baseball.
Yeah.
But he's like, what am I going to do? I'm like, well, you want to coach. And he's getting his first taste of coaching this summer. But he's also asking like, should I get into real estate? Should I go this direction? And we're like, chase your dream as long as you can.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to play baseball, it's till somebody tells you you can't play.
Yeah.
You need to chase it. But real estate is a great career. If you focus on it as a career and as a business and not just a hobby.
Yeah.
Which we have a lot of hobbyists.
Well, and it's nice too, to feed into different interests.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. It seemed like you had to pick one thing and focus on that. We're all multidimensional.
Yep.
We all have so many interests and it is hard to give 100% all the time to each one, but there's nothing wrong with, you know, feeding into some of those and nurturing them because you never know when it may move to the front of the line or something like that. So
absolutely,
that's really neat. I'm glad you didn't go do the LSAT.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my gosh.
Who knows? Maybe would have been a judge.
That's true.
Who knows?
Do you see yourself staying in real estate for a long time?
Probably. We have a goal. My husband and I have a goal of retiring like in the next 15 years. So, yeah, probably. Next 15 years.
What are your hobbies when you're not working and taking care of the kids? And
I read a lot.
Yeah.
So just like, I read the business books, but like just fiction, just the ones that you can just zone out and it doesn't take a lot of brain power. And it's just, like the little romance mysteries. I don't know what they're called. Some thrillers. I do like some thrillers. But I just read a lot. Yeah. And, we have a pretty active social life. So I do a ladies' night out group, once a month. And actually we're doing that tonight at Wire Road has bingo tonight. So we're going to, kind of go and give them some love and business and play some bingo.
Very good. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, awesome. All right. So if you are out and about, you can check into that. We're at Vino Cellars. They let us come in here every week. They've got wine. They've got live music. Check out their website to see what's going on and see what works for you. Mm-hmm. You had a list of some other events that were coming up in the area.
Yeah, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see.
All right. Yeah.
So on Saturday, June 21st, there's drone show and fireworks.
Drone show?
Yeah.
Neat.
Cassidy Station in Nixa. So it looks like Farmers Park has summer sessions at Farmers Park this Thursday at 6. Free pet therapy ice cream social in Phelps Grove Park this Saturday at 1. Fireworks on the Finley at the Sertoma Duck Race, which is Saturday, June 21st at 10:15 p.m. is the fireworks. Let's see. Today at 7 is Dallas Jones and Friends Summer Concert Series on Florence Avenue in Springfield. It's event by the Springfield Little Theater Education Department. These are all on Facebook, you guys. You can check out your Facebook events if you're looking for something to do. Plants and Pints, Wire Road Brewing, Saturday at 10. I mean, there's a ton of stuff happening in our area. When people say, there's nothing going on in the Springfield area. Oh, there's so much stuff. You just have to look for it.
You have to look for it. I can't believe we're also in the fireworks season already. My good grief, where does the time go?
Yeah.
So I was thinking another thing while you were talking about that, like if someone is interested in learning more about how to get into real estate, talk about real quick, like there's different types you can get your real estate license, and then there's something else too, and I'm not thinking right now.
Well, it's brokers.
So what's the difference? What's that mean?
So, there are 2 licenses in the state of Missouri, and I say the state of Missouri because I'm not licensed outside the state of Missouri. So I'm sure that there's something similar for the other states, but the, first license you get is a salesperson's license. It is.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle's watching.
Oh, hi, Michelle. The first, I don't have my glasses on. So the first license is salesperson's license. There is a 48-hour class to get that, and then a 24-hour class after. You can do the classes together before you take the exam, or the 48-hour is only required, and then you have to take the 24-hour class.
Are these all online, or do
you can do them in person? You can do them self-study. You can do them online. If Keller Williams actually has a program where the company will pay for the licensing class.
Okay.
So that helps out, save somewhere between $250 and $500. So that's a nice benefit. Then after, you've been licensed for 2 years, you can take the broker's class and test. You have to have 2 years of experience, in order to take your broker's license, and your broker's license just gives you more responsibility.
Okay.
Really. I mean, so each agency, so each brokerage has a broker, and the broker is kind of like the governing body of the brokerage. So you cannot have a brokerage without a broker.
Okay.
So whenever I have a potential issue pop up, my first call is my broker.
I see.
Hey, so tell me what your interpretation of this, of the contract is, or, hey, what would you do with this situation? You know, those type of things.
Okay.
So, we love our brokers. Brokers provide us with, guidance, and they, like I said earlier, they interpret the contract for us, and they help keep us out of trouble.
Okay. Have you thought about doing that, or
no,
you just don't want it? It's too much.
Just at this point, I just don't have a need to.
Yeah.
I don't make any more money with a broker's
I see.
license. It's just more responsibility.
Gotcha.
And at some point, I may want to do that for my own personal growth, because I have been in the industry for 10 years now. And so maybe we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
How can people get in touch with you?
You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. I do have some TikTok, but I don't really.
We should change them. Those are so fun.
I know.
We could do some fun stuff.
I need to do more. But, so you can find me. It's just under Elise Ellis. I do have a business page. I do not really update the business page.
Okay.
You can just follow me on Facebook. If you can add me as friends, I think I still have some friend capability. But my phone number, that's probably the best way.
Okay.
Is a text message or a phone call, 417-576-2661. Yeah. So 417-576-2661. Yeah.
Michelle Rickman is watching. She says, does Elise love the water
it's
too?
So cold.
So she makes fun of me every week because I say I like this water so much.
It's good water.
And it's just plain water. I thought it was special filtered or something.
Is this tap water?
It's just tap water. It's just really cold though, right?
It is super cold.
It's really
cold.
cold.
The fact that it comes in a carafe.
So did I, and I just got my own over the weekend.
Where?
Dollar Tree.
Oh, yeah, I need to go get
Yeah, get one.
I feel
Get
fancy.
one. I know.
Take the water out of this.
I told you. See, Michelle laughed at me all the time. I'm like, it's so good and it's fancy.
Then you just have to go like this.
Yes. Uh-huh. She's missing out.
She is. What did that say?
Elise is so knowledgeable and takes care of her clients.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes.
That's so sweet. That is a big thing when you are looking for somebody to represent you in a real estate transaction, is you need to make sure you interview them, and just don't go with the first person.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things that go into it. You need somebody that you communicate well with, and that is asking you the great questions. Like if they're just saying, okay, well, what do you want to offer? Well, that's not a great question.
No.
Let's talk about why you want to offer that price that you want to offer. They need to be willing to do the work for you and not you work for them.
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier before we went online that I was working with a client this weekend, a husband and wife client, and what they said that they were wanting, we were not finding.
Mm-hmm.
We'd find it, but it would need a lot of work. So finally we're like, hey, let's go look at this property. I know it's nothing like what you were wanting, because they really wanted a basement, and because they still have teenagers at home. This one doesn't have a basement, but it has a garage, like a detached garage where they could hang out. So we went, and we were there for an hour and a half, and We went through the house and then we went out to the garage and then we came back through the house. And I said, you know what, this time I'm just going to sit down and let you guys wander. I'm going to sit right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay out of the way. You let me know what questions you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
And they did ask some questions, but the interesting thing is as I'm observing them, I'm seeing them relax and breathe and sit down. They literally sat down in the living room and they started having a conversation about nothing related to the house, nothing related to their job changes or their move or anything like that. They were just having a conversation. And so I eventually waited for a break in their conversation. Yeah. And I stood up and walked into the living room and I sat down with them. So I'm on their level, right? It's all about reading the body language. I said, do you all know what I'm seeing? And they said, no. I said, you're comfortable here.
Yeah.
You're peaceful here.
Yes.
What do you all think? And they're like, oh, we didn't realize.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, we didn't realize that we were sitting down and having a conversation. I said, you're having a conversation that's not about anything.
All of this.
It's just a conversation. And so anyway, we eventually ended up putting the house under contract and which is great because it's super exciting for them. Yeah. They feel at peace. They feel settled. Their teenager will be able to start school on time. You know, they have a place to be. But if your agent isn't doing stuff like that for you or recognizing the nonverbal signals, the body language, you need to find a different agent.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be working with people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And
it is. It's very important. For example, for us, it's important to find a place where we can walk our dogs, where it's not going to be so busy that we're hitting the ditch all the time. And if our agent doesn't recognize that and keep showing us these videos, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
And today with social media, there are a lot of platforms for people to say, hey, I'm looking for this and I don't want that. And so if you can't, don't force yourself and just let it happen. Like you said, kind of have this conversation, go see a house and see if it works. Yeah. If it doesn't, you guys don't have to work together.
Yeah. You don't have to buy that house.
Yeah.
You don't have to work together.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can just anyway, there's a lot more goes into it than just opening a door for somebody.
Really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of it relationship building, a lot of, I want clients for life.
Yeah.
So not every agent wants clients for life.
Yeah.
I want clients for life. I want to know, I want to cry with you when, the exciting and things happen. And I want to celebrate when the kids get married or when you retire or, whatever it is. I want to be there with you, not just through the real estate transaction.
Yeah, for that one pencil whip can be done. Yeah.
So and that's what makes some agents stand out from each other is where their heart lies and what they really care about.
Yeah.
For example, I have another client that just posted on Facebook today that she is finally got her teaching certificate. And she's like, and she posted, she's like, look who's a licensed teacher. And I was like, that's amazing. Congratulations. So, things like maybe a little thank you card with a gift card to Seven Brew or Vino or whatever she doesn't drink, but like a locally owned.
Yeah.
Something to celebrate them.
Yeah. Very good.
So anyway.
Cool. Yeah. Well, good. So there you go. If you're looking for someone to start a connection with, Elise Ellis, and you can find her on Facebook, and it's
just Elise Ellis.
Elise Ellis.
Yeah. ELISEELLIS. And I'm on all the socials. I don't do Snapchat. I mean, I have it, but I don't check it. So don't send me a snap because it'll go unread.
I joked with some younger girls the other day. I'm like, you still use that? And they're like, they're like, mostly for this game between us. And I'm like, okay, I thought it was because I was super, super old, which still may be, but that's okay.
I mean, I
just can't get used to it.
I used to use it all the time. I just don't do it.
Hi, Billy Wiegand with Mountain Pine Studios. He says hi.
Yep. So I'm like, how do you see that? I need my glasses.
Well, it's far enough away. I can see that. I got a few years, I guess it's been about 2 years now. I got LASIK and I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. But boy, if they were like, now you will still need readers eventually. I'm like, thanks. I get it. Leave me alone.
Amazon is the best place to find the readers.
What?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can get like 5 for $12.
Thanks. Not yet. I refuse. Not yet.
It's all good.
All right. We will. Well, I think that's all we have for today.
Okay. That sounds great.
That's it. We will be back next week. Maybe Michelle will show up. If not, we'll get Elise to come back. Somebody will be here with me. Have a great week. And if you want to be a guest, please hit us up. We'd love to have you come on and talk about your business and what you're doing. If you want to watch more of the videos or maybe get involved with having a podcast for your business, let's talk runitstudios.com.
I want one.
We're going to do we should do another series with you.
But I want my own podcast too. So
okay. Well, we can do that too. Let's talk about it.
All right.
See you later. Bye.